the biggest problem I see with a lot of startups and entrepreneurs is
That's a great way to do
it's
it.
exactly how you should do it.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money, that's really the only way to do it.
Yeah. Well, people don't know that. People don't know. They think, I got to come up with $100 grand to produce these things.
No.
Not necessarily.
No, you don't.
Not necessarily at all.
No.
All right, Gummi. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I am pretty good.
Yeah.
How about you?
How should I have been so far?
Interesting.
Is that right?
Yeah. Remember I was telling you about that AI music stuff?
Yeah.
So I decided to create a bunch of songs.
You took it to the next level, didn't you?
I did. So I just uploaded the first album.
Yeah. The first Gummi album?
The first Gummi Golf music album is going on Spotify and Amazon Music and all that stuff. I want to see what it does.
That is so cool.
It's a minimal expense. You pay $25.
Mm-hmm.
You upload all your stuff and then they distribute it. So
That is so cool.
I figured, why not? Because I was out playing Sunday and I got paired with a random threesome because I just went solo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, do you guys mind if I put some music on? And they were like, no. So I put the golf music on, right?
I love it.
And we were 4 songs in and the guy goes, is this music about golf? And I'm like, yes, it is. It is in fact about, and there were a couple of songs that they were singing along at the end. They're like, can we listen to the yips again?
Oh, that's
and I'm like,
too funny. Well, welcome back to Start It or Scrap It.
Mm-hmm.
We are live right now in the, where are we? On TikTok. We're live on TikTok. So I'm Mike Tricanian, attorney at law. This is Gummi. Marketing extraordinaire. And what we do is we go on Reddit and other places and we find people that have questions about starting a business, running a business, things like that. Should I take on partners? Should I take financing? Blah, blah, blah. And we give them advice on what to do. And, but now we're live on TikTok. So if anyone out there has questions, has a business idea, something they want to do, but they'd like to get, some advice, by all means, write us, let us know. We'd be happy to take your question live on the podcast today. And hopefully we give you some good advice and help you in the right direction. So anything happened to you particularly this week? Other than, of course, the golf and the Mr. Gummi, the Gummi music.
It's been a short week, but
yeah, it has with the really. Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, a friend of mine came over on Monday.
Okay.
And I remember 3 years ago, she started talking to me about this business idea that she had and business she wanted to start. And it took a year to plan launching the business. I kept telling her, just go sell it, go figure it out. No. So she insisted on doing this for a year. So we finally built her website. I wrote all the copy, everything.
Right.
We get the website up and running. She had her services figured out. And for that year, I was telling her, you're not going to figure anything out on paper. You won't know until you go try it.
Yeah.
She had finally decided to launch, started selling the stuff she thought she wanted to sell.
Okay.
Yeah, it lasted 90 days. And she had to revamp all of her services. She just realized that how she had envisioned things playing out was
different than reality.
Yes.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
It
does happen quite a bit to a lot of people. People start a business. I mean, look, anyone who's seen Field of Dreams, right? They know the old saying, you build it, they will come. No. It doesn't work like that in the business world. It just doesn't. Unless you are or have some type of celebrity endorsement, or you are a celebrity and people already know you. You don't just build it and they come. It takes a while. And a lot of times people think, oh, I'm going to do this. And in 3 months, I'm going to make a lot of money. And no, you mean 3 years. That's what you mean. Yeah. Minimal 3 years. And you got to put a lot of time and effort into it.
And it's funny because people don't realize that a lot of companies don't turn profitable until 15, 20 years after they're started.
Isn't that crazy?
Right? Especially how long did it take for Facebook to become profitable or Amazon?
Now, keep in mind, there's a difference between profitable and cash flow, right? You have cash flow that comes in. I would say your typical, widget-based business, right? Meaning anything that's been happening. After about 18 months, you should be cash flow positive. Yeah. You really should be. Yes. What I mean by that, for those who don't know what cash flow is, it means that You're no longer taking money out of your pocket. You're no longer borrowing money from the bank. You're now able to, whatever product or service you're selling is not only covering the bills, the overhead, whatever it is, payroll, if you have payroll, raw materials, but also there's a little bit extra there, right? That's
Right.
cash flow positive.
Mhm.
Cash flow negative is when you're constantly going out and borrowing money
Yeah,
either from
right.
your pocket, your uncle's pocket, or from the
Yep.
bank. So so it takes about 18, 24 months to get cash flow positive. Profitable is beyond that.
Correct.
That's beyond cash flow positive. That's when over the course of the entire year, the company has made more money than it put out, more
Mhm.
money than its expenses. That's when the owners really start to see the returns,
Yep.
right? And don't get scared at the 15 to 20 year thing, although that is very real.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that it's going to take you 15
Right.
years to start making profits. You can start earning money in your business, $100,000, $200,000 within the first couple of years, but that doesn't make your business profitable because
Correct.
you have to remember you are a cost to your business as well.
Correct.
So if your business on paper earned $100,000, let's say for the year, and then you paid yourself $100,000, your business is not profitable.
That is correct.
Right? It has cash flow, but it's not profitable.
Yeah.
Profitable is when it's beyond
and
the
not-
$100,000 that you're paying yourself.
And not every business at the end of the day wants to be profitable.
Correct. Why is that? Taxes.
Correct. If you're
Because
prof-
you'll pay taxes.
then you'll pay taxes.
You'll pay
right?
taxes on the
So-
profits that you have.
So I think and this is part of what so many small business owners fail to understand is like tax planning, right? And expense planning and what is long-term, what can you write off long-term
Yeah.
versus what can you write off immediately? And I always laugh because there's apparently like a Mercedes SUV out there that is the best-selling SUV in December of every year.
Okay.
It's kind of a joke, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not the best-selling SUV, but for business owners it is. And it's because it's a passenger car,
Yeah.
but it falls over the weight limit
Yep.
where they can write
Is
it
it
off
6,000 pounds?
I think it's 6,000
pounds?
Yeah. So
Right.
there's like a Mercedes that
Yeah.
fits that. So that gets sold in December every year.
Well, what's crazy is I don't know if you knew this, and it's been around for a few years, and I just found out about it last year. Apparently, there's an airplane rule for it too. You, as a business, you can purchase an airplane
Oh yeah.
for the business.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm not talking about like a G6, which
No.
you could, right? Like, a big G7 or something like that, which is millions and millions of dollars. But you could purchase a nice Cessna, a 182 or something like that for 500-600 grand, and it's a full write off for that year. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I'm speaking with my accountant about to get a little more information. This is TikTok info. Right?
Are you thinking about buying a plane? Is that what's going on here?
Well, I mean, I'm going to have my license soon.
Well, true.
If the weather ever allows me to actually
I was
fly.
gonna say.
So we're in Northeast United States. We're just outside of Philadelphia. And anyone's in this area knows this winter and spring, it's like Chicago. It's been so windy here. Every single day has been 15 to 20 mile sustained winds with gusts in the 30s and 40s. Every single day. I can't believe it.
We call this an Icelandic summer.
Yeah, right.
Like even the temperature is right around an
It
Icelandic
really
summer.
is. So it's been keeping people in small planes and keeping them from flying because it's just too windy to fly, especially when you're trying to get your license. So anyway, so people out there that are looking to start a business, don't despair. It takes some time, doesn't happen right away, but know that it's going to take some time. Don't think that you're going to be able to start up and 90 days start seeing all kinds of profits. It just doesn't work like that.
No.
Can it? Yes. Will it? Probably not.
If you know someone that could benefit from this type of content, please share this podcast with them. Anybody that's starting out a business, having trouble with their business, there might be that one answer that they're looking for somewhere in one of our videos.
All right, so let's see what's going on in Reddit world today. So we are under the subreddit startup_ideas. And like I said, what we do is we just find a few people that have some questions. We don't do like the looking for co-founders, or we're trying to stay away from the, hey, I have an AI idea, because there's just so many of those.
Yeah.
So, but we do try to find some questions that are really peak and really good, and try to give them some good advice. So So this is from dependent-leg 4638, who says, I have a business I want to start, but need a small amount of capital support. I'm a college student with what I think is a great website idea, but I need funding from someone that would really believe in me and the idea. I think it has a lot of potential with small downside investment. Please DM me if interested. All right. So the reason why I brought this up is because this is every small business owner before they start their business is, where do I get money?
Yep.
Right. And we talked about this before on the show. And there are a couple of ways now. As a college student, you probably don't have a job, or you may have a job where you're making barely any money and you need that for tuition and books and stuff. So usually it's like, okay, well, you have a job, save up some money for 6 or 8 months, and you can do it that way. Another way is, you say it all the time, put $15,000 on your credit card.
Yeah.
Go do it. It's okay. It's you're starting a business. Go put some money on your credit card if you have to, and then slowly pay it. Don't put 100,000 on it.
No,
but put 10 or 15,000 on your credit card. Go ahead.
And especially if you have good credit and you can get 0% balance transfer offers.
Yeah. Keep pushing it down the line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what he means by that is, for those of you who don't know, if you have a credit card and let's say you have a $10,000 balance on it, there are dozens of other credit cards out there, if you have good credit, that you will allow you to open an account and transfer that balance to that new card.
Yep.
Now you'll pay a little bit of a fee, 2, 3, maybe 4%, right? Well, on $10,000, that's $300. Who cares, right? So you're paying $300 and you're transferring that, and sometimes it's for a year. You get 0% for a year. So as long as you're making the minimum payments, you're not paying anything additional. So that gives you a good 10, 15, maybe $20,000 to open your business with, to use for your business. Another avenue is family, friends, try to raise a little capital that way. You can always go to a bank, even if you don't have collateral. If you're in college, you could go to a bank and you can get a personal loan for $20,000.
Oh yeah,
they'll give you a $20,000 personal loan as long as you don't have any dings on your credit, like you had a car payment that you didn't pay or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of ways of getting money. I always recommend stay away from, at the very beginning, stay away from the stranger money. The stranger money is going to cost you a lot in the end, right? It's going to cost you either interest, it's going to cost you, they're going to want some kind of points or penalties or something like that, or they're going to want a piece of your company. And if they want a piece of your company, you're giving up so much for what really is going to be so little in the end. Because if you borrow $10,000 now and give up 20% of your company, and you build that company to $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, that 20%, it's not worth it.
No, it adds up.
So if you're out there, dependent leg 4638 looking for money, those are some ways that you can go and you can borrow. Again, a credit card, push off the deferring interest, get some, get cards with 0%, and do some research on this. Have a plan lined up. I'm going to open up arbitrarily a Capital One account today, and in 2 months from now, I'm going to move that over to a Bank of America card with a 0% interest rate. Here's the card I'm going to do it with, and then that's going to give me 18 months of interest free and blah 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 blah. So that's.
And then eventually you want to get something like a Chase Inc. business card.
Yes.
Specifically Chase Inc. because the money on that credit card does not show on your personal credit.
Yes, there is something about there's 2 different types of Chase Inc. cards. You got to be careful. You got to make sure you have the right one.
Right. So you want to get the one where the debt doesn't show up on your personal credit score.
Right. Not that we're promoting any particular card, just again trying to help you understand what the right approach here is. So, all right, dependent leg. Good luck to you. We talked about this one a few times. All right, moving on. This is previous-debate-2186, who says, anyone else feel super anxious and excited to start a business, but have 1,000 ideas and no clue where to begin? No one feels like that. Everyone's got every idea ready to go. They're ready to go out the door from the moment they want to start their business. Isn't that right? No, there's no anxiety here.
No.
It's just go.
No, yeah.
All right.
And
It's
no distractions either.
No distractions. Never. It's like my brain is on fire with ideas. 1 minute I want to start an online store. The next I'm thinking about building an app, flipping products, learning AI, drop shipping, creating a brand. Don't drop ship. You name it. Does anyone else feel so overwhelmed with ideas that you can't even sleep? You have no idea where to start, but deep down you know that one day you're going to be successful, maybe even rich. To make it worse, I also have a regular 8-hour office job that bores me to death. I know I want more. I know I can do more. I just don't know where to start. All right. You want this? You want to start with this?
No, you can go
All
ahead.
right. Pick one.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one.
Yes.
Don't be a jack of all trades so what is it? Don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that the phrase? Something like that?
it is.
Right?
But people leave out the last part of that.
Which is?
I'll look it up for you.
Oh, okay.
It's actually, it's actually above and beyond that.
Okay.
What it comes back to is that the jack of all trades ultimately is better than the master of one.
Yes, but not when you're starting a business.
No.
Not when you're first starting a business.
It's just that saying.
Yeah.
People
Well,
leave out the
look
last
it up.
part.
I don't remember ever hearing that. But my point is, don't go out there and try to do 7 different things when you're first starting out. Number one, you don't know anything about business, right? Just plain and simple. You don't know anything about business, and that's okay. The point is to learn.
Mhm.
Number 2 is you probably don't have the resources or the financing. Even if you do have a full-time job, great, which is awesome, but you probably don't have the resources to start multiple business lines. So take a step back. Think about the things you want to do. Think about, is it product-based? Is it service-based? If it's product-based, where is the product being made? Can it be made in your house, or do you need a facility to do it for you? So a few weeks ago, we talked about clothing manufacturers, for example. Someone wanted to start a clothing line.
Right.
Well, don't buy a bunch of sewing machines and do it. You can hire companies that will make your clothes for you. You work with your designs, send them over to the companies. They have the facilities to do it. It'll cost you a tenth of the cost it would cost you to do it yourself, to just send it to these factories to make it for you. If it's service based, right? Who's doing the work? Are you the one going out there and fixing the plumbing? If you're doing plumbing work, are you the one who's building the websites, et cetera, et cetera? Are you hiring people to do it? So you got to put all these things together and then figure out a plan for your business. Go ahead.
So the complete quote is, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than the master of one. Right? It totally changes
It does.
the meaning, right?
It absolutely does. And because you don't have to be a master.
But that is, well, but that's, so here's the thing. When it comes to starting a business, this really applies to you because you have to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Right? You have to understand so many different things. Yep. Once you get further along in your business, that's when you start hiring the people that have mastered one skill.
Yes.
Right? Like you hire the marketing person or the salesperson or the logistics person, whatever it is. But
in the beginning, you're all of those.
And the people you hire in first are all what I call like generalists, right? Like they're good at a handful of things. They're not an expert at one thing.
Right.
That comes later in the business. But
yeah. So as Gummi said, so when you're first starting out, right? So, okay, well, let's just back up. So you have your plan together. You finally figured out what business you want to run. All right, great. Now you have your plan. Do a little bit of a forecast. Do a 2-3 year forecast out. What's it going to cost me, and how much am I expected to make? Okay?
Basic business plan.
Yeah, exactly. Now take those numbers, multiply the cost by 2, and divide the profit and divide the income by 2, because that's really what's going to wind up happening. Usually costs you twice as much, and you make half as much. And that's just the reality.
Yeah.
It's a conservative way of doing it. Now that you have your plan in place, figure out all the things you're going to have to do to make that happen. Because at the beginning of this journey, unless you have some cash aside, it's just you. You are the salesperson. You are the person producing the product. You are the HR. If you have other people, you are the accountant. You are the bookkeeper. You are everything. You are customer service, right? You are R&D. You're everything in the company at first. And then, like Gummi said, once the company gets some traction, you start getting some cash flow, as we discussed earlier. Then you can go out and you can hire a bookkeeper, or you can hire a salesperson. And you want to hire someone who's very, 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 very good at that particular task. Yeah.
Virtual assistants.
Virtual assistant, something like that.
You figure out, what is it in my business that takes up the vast amount of time, that takes up a lot of your time, but isn't really profitable,
Right.
right? Like those are the first
Yes.
tasks you want to try to offload.
Yeah.
Like for me, there were certain things like the bookkeeping. I would do that late at night when I couldn't do anything else anyway. But there were certain things like answering the phones, scheduling that happened during the day, and I was out and about all day. So that was one of the first people I hired. The second one in was a sales rep.
Okay.
Right? Like sales drive everything.
They do.
There's a good quote by Mary Kay that says, nothing happens until somebody sells something.
Yep.
Right? And that's really the key. But looking at what this guy's saying is like the million ideas. At the end of the day, ideas are worth nothing.
Nothing.
Right?
Yeah. They're worthless.
They're not nothing. There's nothing valuable with an idea until you actually start doing something with it.
Right.
So I will put money on that there are millions of people that are in this guy's or
absolutely
lady's shoes.
Yeah.
That
without question.
That they're so worried about starting something that they don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then they end up in a 9 to 5, and it's never too late to go get started, right?
No,
but
absolutely.
start, pick something. It doesn't mean that you're marrying it.
Right.
Right? Like
here's the deal. Start something now. Do it for 18, 24, 36 months. Guess what? If you fail, okay. You know how much you've learned
you see,
over that period of
then
time.
You move on to the next one.
I mean, it's okay. It sucks. You failed, but now you've learned what's wrong. You learned what not to do. You learned what pieces you need.
Yeah.
You can always go back and figure out what it is you did wrong or what went wrong. Maybe it wasn't even something you did. Maybe your customer base just wasn't ready for that product yet.
And it's
a perfect example of that is Vines, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember Vines on Twitter?
Yeah.
Right. Vines comes out 2015,
something like
that, right? And for the longest, and you explained this to me, I didn't realize. For the longest time, I couldn't figure out why Vines wouldn't pick up. And then Vines goes away, and a few years later, TikTok comes out, which is the exact same thing.
Correct.
And suddenly it explodes. And you were right. It was because we didn't have 5G on our phones at that time, and so loading those videos took longer.
Forever.
We were on data cap plans at the time. The market wasn't ready for it.
Correct.
So sometimes you have a great idea, you execute it beautifully, but the market's just not ready. So that can happen too.
Yeah, it's funny because I can always tell the difference between someone that's been an entrepreneur before and started businesses versus those that haven't, right?
Yeah.
Because the one that's starting their business comes up with this perfect plan, and here's how it's going to go, and these are the numbers we're going to hit, and, right? And then the seasoned entrepreneur shows up with the same business plan. He goes, "Here's a good guess. Yeah. We're probably going to go over. Yeah, right. We're probably going to go over on expenses. We're going to run into issues. Yep. Sales are probably not going to be what we hope, but at least we have something to go off.
We'll be somewhere in the middle here.
Right, like,
something's going to happen.
This is the idea, but like you and I both know that it's not going to happen, right? No. So it's just funny because it becomes a mental approach to how you do it, right? Yeah. It's just, okay, either I'm going to do this or I'm not, right? And if it succeeds, great. If it doesn't, it sucks.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I see with a lot of startups and entrepreneurs is I call it shiny object syndrome.
Oh yeah.
Right. So they start off and they want to be, let's take my friend, for example. So she does elder care, right? Well, she wanted to do elder care and something else. And then she got an offer to do something that didn't quite fit what she wanted to do. And she was thinking about doing that.
But it was a shiny new object.
And she was like, it would be kind of cool to get into this. And I'm like, no, just focus on the core services we talked about, right? But she was getting impatient because she was now like 6 months in and things were moving slowly. And I'm like, just focus your message on that one thing that you do and do really well. Lo and behold, when I talked to her on Monday, when she came over.
Yep.
She's almost fully booked.
Yeah.
Like,
and some people, okay, so here's why that happens. When you first start out, no one knows you. No one knows what you're capable of. No one knows what your product or service does. And
Hmm.
frankly, no one cares until
No,
they need your product or service.
correct.
Then maybe they're working with you. Maybe they're working with your competitor. But as you build over time, you build relationships with people. That's why it takes 3, 4, 5, 7 years to,
Hmm.
to really start having a successful business, because you build those relationships with people over time. But if you have that shiny new object syndrome, like you're saying, what you're doing is you're resetting the clock. So if you're out there building widgets and
Hmm.
you're building them really well, and then someone convinces you, nah, don't do that anymore, get into real estate or something like
Yep.
that, you are now resetting the clock to
Yes.
zero. All that time you
There,
spent building widgets is gone, wasted.
there's actually a good Alex Hermosi went on Diaries of a CEO,
Okay.
and he was explaining that entrepreneurs or startups often get stuck in a cycle,
Yes.
right? So what should be the 1 year cycle, they're basically stuck in it for the lifetime of their business
Yeah.
because they don't know how to get out of that,
Right.
right? And part of it is because, I'll give you an example. Contractors are infamous for this,
Mhm.
right? So you have a guy that's a roofer and he does roofs. And then all of a sudden, one client goes, "Oh, can you do the gutters?" So he decides to get into
Yeah.
gutters. And then they're like, "Oh, can you fix my siding while you're
Right.
here?" So now they get into siding, right? And then they go, "Oh,
Windows or whatever. Yeah.
correct,"
Yeah.
right? And it keeps expanding. And
Yeah.
before they know it, they're a GC. And now they're trying to chase all these different jobs and go into, like, yes, it's a great idea to be able to take care of everything. But like if roofing is your most profitable item, if
Yeah.
that's where you make most money, then just focus on the roofing.
Yeah.
Don't do all these other things, because you could do 100 roofs versus maybe 5 very big projects, right? Well, are those 5 really big projects going to be as profitable as doing 100 roofs?
And what's the risk associated with those big
Correct.
projects,
Yes.
right? If you're really good at roofing, but you're just,
Yep.
again, this is the whole jack of all trades. If you're really good at roofing, but you're just okay with the windows, you're just okay with building porches or something like that,
Hmm.
only because you don't do it all the time. Now you're running a risk,
Yeah.
right? Because you haven't built that expertise
Correct.
in those additional crafts.
And it's interesting because even from the marketing perspective, right? It is way easier for me to market you when you do one thing, right? Because then we can focus on that, we can fine tune it, we can like make it a churn machine, right? When you're trying to market too many things at the same time,
Right.
it's often very difficult
Yeah.
because you're now diluting your budget to
And your
try to
audience.
correct,
Yeah.
to try to get all these different things. So like the first 5 years, I would say the first 5 years, just pick one thing and do it and learn how to master doing that thing and doing it a lot,
Yeah.
right? Like the lead gen, the closing, your margins, your efficiency. Once you have that and it's steady and you start seeing that you've maxed out, if you don't think you can do anymore, then look at potentially adding a second service.
Right.
All right. But just focus on one thing. That's
Yeah.
all you got to do.
Don't do too much too
You don't
quickly.
have to be a landscaper. You can just be a lawn mowing guy,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
you don't have to do the mulching and the trimming and no, just be the tree guy. What do
Yeah.
you do? I do trees.
See,
That's all I do. Right?
here's this. That's a perfect example as the landscaper. All right. So here's how you take a landscaping business and expand upon it over 10 years. Okay. You start off with just mowing lawns. That's it. You're just cutting the grass.
Yep.
Okay. And most people, that's all they really want is just someone to cut the grass.
Yep.
Okay. And you can easily build, 10 customers in a couple of months to 100 customers after a year.
Mhm.
Right? To 200 customers after 2 years. Okay. Now you have 200 customers after 2 years where you're just cutting the grass.
Mhm.
You've gotten so good at it. You have the right tools. You have the routes mapped out, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
You have people that you've hired. Now you can take a step back
Yep.
and you can have other people do that job. So now you can get into mulching. Guess what? You don't have to go out and find brand new customers.
No.
You can reach out to those 200 that you've done a great job for.
Mhm.
If 50 of them say yes, if 20 of them say yes,
Yep,
right?
that's-
10%. That's you've already have a heads up. That
Yep.
20 will turn into 50, will turn into 100.
And you and I both know anytime you add a new service to anything, there's always a learning curve.
Yes.
Right. So you're going to have to build that in.
Yes. In fact, go to your 200 customers, pick the ones that are really good to you and say, hey, we're going to be offering this service. I want to give it to you for free or for a discount for the first couple of months as we roll this out. There's your learning curve.
Yep.
That's a way to do it too.
It's just interesting.
So, all right. Anyway, so yeah, previous debate, everyone feels like this. This is what happens. And it's exciting. You know, it's because when you're starting a business, you're like, you have so many ideas going through your head. It's all exciting. And then reality hits and you realize, okay, I got to take a breath. Take a step back.
I want to look it up.
What's that?
Because I love the way Alex Hermosi puts it. He calls it entrepreneur journey.
Oh, I don't know.
The entrepreneur life cycle.
The entrepreneur life cycle. Okay. I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, so it's cool. So he has it. It's a life cycle. It goes from uninformed optimism.
Okay. Yeah. There we are. That's where we are right now.
To informed pessimism.
Yep.
To crisis of meaning.
Yes.
To informed optimism. To achievement.
Wow. That's actually spot on.
Correct. The problem is people go from crisis of meaning to either informed optimism or they crash and burn.
And they crash and burn. Yeah.
Right. Like, and it's just the way he put it, the first time I heard it, I was like, oh my God, like that's spot on.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly how starting a business works, because the uninformed optimism is exactly what we were talking about. You set up a business plan. You're like, oh, these are going to be my sales numbers. These are going to be my costs. And then you don't hit the sales numbers and your costs are higher. And like, now you're all pessimistic. Like, none of this works the way I thought it was going to work. Right. Like, and then you're like, what is it all for? Why should I do this?
Yeah.
Right. And then you either crash and burn or you go, okay, now I know what reality is. So let me work based off of reality and see what needs to be fixed.
Salvage what I have and continue on. Yeah.
That is now informed optimism.
Yeah.
Like you've now formulated a realistic plan, not one you just made up. Right. And once you do that, then you can fully take off. But unfortunately, a lot of people keep being in that informed pessimism, crisis of meaning.
And they can't get out of it.
They can't get out of it.
Yeah.
And that's where the business stays for years. Yeah. Right. But yeah.
I like that. We'll have to put a link to that in the comments.
Yeah.
Speaking of comments, anybody out there listening live on TikTok right now, if you're looking to start a business, if you have a business and you just have questions, by all means, send them to us right now. We're happy to take a question live on the podcast and give you some advice if we can. All right. So previous debate 2186. Good luck to you. That's awesome.
Just start.
And it seems just start.
Pick one and start.
Seems like the comments are kind of saying the same thing. I've been there. I'm still tinkering around. Blah blah blah. Yeah, this is this is good stuff.
It's analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis is right. All right, moving on. I'm not reading this whole thing, but this is from Nora_AI. I hate my ridiculous 9-to-5 job. Working on my startup idea is what keeps me going. To introduce myself, I'm a staff AI engineer at a well-known company. I really hate my job. I'm sorry to hear that. I've become a glorified project manager. I don't build anything. I make decks, constantly battle ego-driven colleagues who ignore good engineering practices and forced to allow absurd management requests. Worst part, we're building something with zero PMF. The roadmap changes weekly based on the PM's whims with no user feedback. I haven't written a single line of code in 3 years. Oh man, as a coder myself, that hurts. That really hurts because I really try to try to write as much code as I can because I really enjoy it. That would hurt. So let's skip ahead a little bit. Let's see. He started working on a project he had, never made any money. In hindsight, it wasn't solving any pain points, so he shut it down. But then he had another idea based on the problem he personally faced. Now, see, there it is. I can see where this is going to go. He originally started working on something, I guess, based off of some research, maybe hearing from other people, but then that didn't work. And then he had his own problem. and solved his own problem. And when you do something like that, very often that is a good product or
Correct.
service that other people are going to need as well.
I said this last week. The reason I started making my AI golf music
Yeah.
is because there is no real music about golf.
By the way, pitch that real quick, please. It's so funny. No, it's funny. I'm sorry. It's just funny.
So the idea originally started, I wanted to make music for my kids,
Yeah.
right? So the very first song that I made,
What'd you do this with?
I use Suno.
Suno. That's
Yeah.
right.
So the very first thing that I did was I created a song called Life is Better When I Listen. And I have my daughter singing along to Life is Better When I Listen, right?
I love it.
It's basically, and they like the song, they like the rhythm, and they sing along to it, right? And then I was like, wait a minute. If I can get them to sing along and be better listeners for singing along with music, why can't I put golf and swing tips into a song so that when I'm out swinging, like I created the song Bobblehead Golfer, which is a reminder to keep your head down,
Yeah.
right? Like, but now I'm walking around the golf course. I'm literally singing golf songs that are golf tip reminders, and it doesn't feel like golf tip reminders because it's a song. So you're just kind of like humming it along, like keep your head down, bobblehead, right? Like, but that's how it started. And then
It's too funny. But you have these up on YouTube, right?
yeah, they're on YouTube, and they're going to be on Amazon and Spotify and all that stuff.
What's the what's your YouTube channel for?
Gummi Golf Music.
Gummi Golf Music.
Yep.
Gummi.
Gummi.
Golf
Gummi,
music.
Yep.
Please, everyone, go check that out.
And then
It's funny.
it kind of just spiraled from there, right? But once again, it was a problem. It wasn't a real problem, right? Like, is it a problem that golf music doesn't exist? No.
No, it's not a problem.
Is it cool to have it? Yeah. Do you know how many people golf? Do you know how many people are obsessed with it?
It was going to be crazy. One day you're going to be on the golf course, and like 2 holes over, you're going to hear somebody either listening or humming or singing your song. You're going to be like, I made it. Yes, it worked. That's exactly what's going to happen.
But that's exactly why, like, we talk about this all the time. Find a problem, right? It can be a superficial problem, right? Like the guy that figured out, like, look at the chords we have, right? Someone figured out, oh, if my chords are a mess, maybe I should make a chord organizer or little straps so I can strap them neatly together. Yeah. Is it really a problem that the chords are on the
Not
table?
really a problem. It just looks sloppy.
Correct. But it's a superficial problem, right? And a lot of things that we use on a daily basis solve superficial problems.
Right.
Like it's nothing deep. It's nothing life-changing. The damn fidget spinner adds no value to anything like
other than my
all,
pure
right?
entertainment.
Correct, right? Like just but someone had the problem of they were fidgety. They needed something to calm them down, right? My wife teaches Sunday school. Mm-hmm. She's an assistant teacher at Sunday school. And she teaches, I think they're 3rd graders. And there's this one kid, he's like antsy, can't sit still, right? So she bought these dumb silicone, they're like different shapes and textures. Yep. And she just one day threw a handful of them on each table. And that kid just naturally grabbed them and he sits there and rubs them. And it calmed him down.
That's
and
cool.
I'm like,
that solves a problem.
It solves a problem. And it's literally just a blob
Stupid
of
little,
right? It's
so this guy here, this Nora_AI said that the problem they were facing was updating software documentation is something many developers hate doing, and yet it's incredibly important to have up-to-date documents. So I decided to do things myself, no contractors, no ads, no shortcuts. I'd code the whole thing myself like a true indie. So they used Python in the front end. They built a GitHub app that had focus on the back end. Coded every morning from 5 to 8 before work. I love that.
Yep.
After a month of focused effort, the app was ready and submitted. They've rediscovered the joy of building. Just like when I was in my early 20s and 30s now. My mood is surprisingly upbeat. Yeah, because you're doing something for yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're not just working this mundane 9 to 5 that you don't like. A lot of people, not everybody hates their job. A lot of people love their job. They love their 9 to 5 job, and that's cool. I'm I'm all for that. I had a very short period of time in my life where I worked for another company as a 9 to 5. And the first one I didn't like so much, but the second one I actually enjoyed. And you know what? It was the people. I really enjoyed the people. The people were great. I worked there for about 2 or 3 years until I started my own company, and I've been an entrepreneur ever since. But a lot of people really like it, and a lot of people hate it. And the ones that hate it, hey, a lot of people feel that way.
Yep.
It's the ones that hate it that want to do something about it. There are the ones that hate it that just complain, or hop from job to job that will never be happy. And then there's the ones that complain, the ones that hate it and try to do something about it. This person's obviously doing something about it, and look how happy they are. Yeah. Right? He didn't say anything about I'm making $1 million a year doing it.
No.
He just said, I'm getting back to the basics of what I love to do. I love to code.
Yes.
Perfect. Go code. It's great. Right? Yep. I do the same thing. So I'm a business attorney. I do business and intellectual property law. 95% of my day is spent on contracts, employment, starting businesses, business advice like this, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I do when I go home? I would say 2 or 3 times a week, I just pick up my laptop, and while my wife and I are watching a movie or TV, I'm coding. I'm either coding a game or I'm coding something else just because I love doing it.
Yep.
I'm not making any money off of it. I just enjoy doing it. It is my way to de-stress, to relax, to get back to what I enjoy doing.
I enjoy writing.
Yeah.
Right. Like I've authored books. I write a ton of articles. I create a ton of content. And fortunately, that's part of what I used to do for my job. But now that I'm no longer doing it, someone else takes care of that part. But yeah, like I go back to writing all the time. Like which is part of why I am enjoying writing songs.
Yeah.
Because it's just a different type of writing than I've had to do before. So like, yeah, like that is... We all have to have that thing that we love. Yeah. And if you can turn what you love into a business or into something that makes money, fantastic, right? Like that to me is what it's about. Like the job is to make money, but you have to find something that fulfills whatever that urge is, right?
Whatever it is you're trying to, whatever you're trying to do for yourself.
For you, it's coding. For me, it's writing. Yeah. For a buddy of mine, it's literally making music. Like he plays like 3 instruments and he'll go home and like record tracks. Yeah. He's only released a handful of songs, but like, he's like, I don't even care if anybody ever hears these songs. He's like, I'm doing it for me. Yeah. But
that's like my son. My son plays a variety of instruments. Started with the piano, saxophone, drums, guitar. Plays a whole bunch of things now. And he always says, "No, I don't like playing music." And he's 19 now, so of course, everything sucks. But he's like, "I don't like playing music anymore." Blah 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 blah. But of course, every day, at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, you'll hear him upstairs on his keyboard. Yeah. Playing something, picking up the guitar, playing something. He won't admit it, but that's the thing he loves to do. Everything else is, I got to do this, I got to do that. Schoolwork, work, whatever. But the music is the thing that he always runs to.
I think being creative in some form is built into all of us. It's just a matter of how you get it out, right? Like, I don't care whether it's knitting, whether it's painting. Like my mother-in-law is late 70s, I think.
Yeah.
And she just started taking art classes to learn how to paint. And
good for her.
All of last summer, I went to Dick Blick and bought a ton of supplies and the whole thing and set up one of our back rooms.
Yeah.
And she stayed with us for, I don't know, 2 months, pretty much just her.
Yep.
And she was back there every day. I would come home from work and I would go look for her. She was always in that same spot, just painting.
That's
and
funny.
Now we have a bunch of paintings hanging around her house that she made.
Very cool.
And I just think it's so cool. Like,
yeah. And it's just something she wants to do. So any entrepreneur out there, anybody who's looking to start a business, or even if you have a job, a 9-to-5 job, you got to find that thing that will relax you at the end of the day. What's the place you can go to in your mind or physically where you can just chill. And we're like,
Yep.
I have a buddy he loves playing soccer more
Yeah.
than anything else. If he's stressed out, he'll take a ball and go to a field, or he'll
Hmm.
find a pickup game somewhere and just go play soccer
Hmm.
for a couple hours. Right.
No,
People
that's
like running, stuff like that.
correct.
Right.
But there are things you can make money off of and
Yeah.
things you
You
can't,
can't.
right?
Yeah.
Like he will probably never make money off of soccer,
No, probably not.
right? Not playing it.
Right.
Um, but then there's also that group of people. Like I know a guy, and he loves business, the business of business,
Yeah.
right? Like he's a really good marketer, and he just loves business. That is his hobby. So he's now on his fourth business, I think. Already sold off the other three, but he loves that, getting a business to a certain point.
Yep.
Call it 1 to 3 million in revenue. And he's like, but then it becomes like a job.
Yeah.
And
Right.
he's like, I
Right.
don't like it
Yeah.
when it becomes a job. He's like, I like the thrilling excitement of startup and building.
Yeah.
And then when it just becomes like
Hand
a
it off to somebody
routine,
else.
he's like, I just want to dump it and start the
Right.
next thing. And I'm like, do you know what? If that's your thing, then do your thing, right?
So Nora AI, yeah, you're not alone, man. This is what it is sometimes,
Yeah.
whether you're the business owner or you're working
Yep.
for somebody else, you got to find that thing that you can do. And it, again, like you said, I mean, it doesn't have to be something that can make money.
No.
It's nice if it can, but it doesn't have to be. Just, go find that thing that makes you happy. All right. Moving on. This is thick_technology 5965. Oh, I know where this is going. Says dealing with betrayal.
Oh,
Hey everyone, just wanted to ask. I'm 29, female. I have a business in Singapore. Started out with 100% ownership, but gave my then boyfriend 50%. I gave it out of love, but throughout the years, he became greedy and manipulated me. Together with his parents, he controlled and isolated me from the company to the point I didn't have any access to decision making, etc. I finally left on my own because I caught him stealing clients from me that he could earn a lot more for himself, et cetera, et cetera. I want to expose his actions together with his unethical business, but I sought legal advice who told me I should only do so via legal means. That's true. You don't want to be have a defamation letter coming your way. So it's been 5 months. Nobody knows my story. Nobody knows the pain, how I messed up together with his parents, guiding him on how to steal my shares, et cetera, et cetera. So Thick Technology, I'm sorry to hear that this happened to you, but this does happen. It happens quite often.
Oh, yeah.
Where you'll get into a business that you start, that someone else is either jealous or they just want to take the hard work that you did and they want to, they want to be a part of it too. And sometimes it starts off innocently. Sometimes it starts off very innocently, like, hey, let me be a part of this. Let me help you with it. And then that person gets that complex where they want to be in charge of everything. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. I know better than you.
Yeah.
And they're going to, try to take it from you. And it does happen, unfortunately. And this is the topic, and this is the conversation I have with my clients on a regular basis when they're talking about having partners in their business. Okay. What you need to understand, if you're going to have a partner in your business, you are essentially forming a marriage. Okay. And the reason why I say it's a marriage,
I'm going to say it's deeper than a marriage, because marriages can be pretty straightforward to get out of.
Yeah.
These situations can be far more complex.
Well, so what I was going to say is, with the put aside the emotional relationship, right? We're just talking about the business side of things. A marriage, at the end of the day, combines assets, combines money, and unless you have an agreement beforehand called a prenuptial agreement, when the marriage ends, through divorce or however it ends, that money gets divided and split between the partners in the marriage. It's the same thing with a business. You need to have full understanding of what you're getting into if you're going to have a partner in your business.
Oh, yeah.
If that partner is 50%, that partner has just as much right to every piece of the business as you do. I don't care if you started it and worked for it and did it for 5 years, and then you bring in a 50% partner. That was your fault. You should not have done that. You have now given that person the 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears that you put into the business. However they got in, whether they bought in, you gave it to them, like you said, out of love over here. However you bring that person in, you are now married, so to speak, to that person or multiple people, and they have just as much right to that business as you do if you give them that 50% share. That's 50% in decision making, 50% in financial aspects, whether it's taking money out or pay or whatever it's going to be. 50% in the clients, anything that has to do with the company, you have given them that power, that ownership. And sometimes things turn bad. And when they do turn bad, it's unfortunately like a marriage. People wind up hating each other. That's why they're getting divorced. Usually one person hates the other, or maybe it's mutual. Same thing happens in business relationships. People don't like each other anymore. And I see it all the time where one partner wants to screw the other partner so bad they could care less about the business. They just want that person to suffer because something happened or they just got into a fight or whatever.
Same thing as a marriage.
Yeah,
right?
same thing as a marriage. Yeah. Exactly.
It's,
So again,
so to kind of, because she's asking for direct advice. Revenge, no. Just
no,
move on.
It's not, revenge never works.
If you built this the first time, which it sounds like you were the driver that built this, you can do it again.
Yep.
Does it suck? Yes. Is it worth trying to get revenge or trying to, no, just, you would be amazed. So what ended up happening, like how I ended up with Red Knight is I used to work for a guy and he gave me a small ownership share in the company. And then I came to the US to start our US office. He decided to sell the business and I had choices. I could either sell my portion, I could take on the new guy as a partner, or I got North American rights to our software, right? So I was like, I'll take that option.
Yeah,
right?
The rights, absolutely.
And what I found out is when I left that company, all the top people in that company, when they found out I was leaving, asked if they could come with. It was kind of, and I told them flat out, I was like, I'm literally starting over.
From nothing,
like I have no clients, I have no nothing. I'm like,
unless you want to work for 6 months with no pay.
So what ended up happening is they kept working for the other guy, but did work after hours, outside hours for me. Because we were in different time zones, it actually ended up working out really good, right? And then when we got to a point where I was self-sustaining and could sustain them, they literally left the other job and came over with me.
Yeah.
And like we all knew the new owner and none of us really particularly were fond of him. So, but it was interesting to see that like good people follow good people, right? It wouldn't surprise me the least that the reason some of these people are staying despite seeing what's going on is because they might believe in you and not them, right? Like they keep hoping that this gets sorted out. The reality is something like this very rarely gets sorted out. Now,
let me take this from a different approach, right? By the way, anyone who's viewing right now, again, we have about half hour left in the podcast. If you have questions that you want to have us featured live on the podcast today, please put them in the comments and send them to us. We'd be happy to take your questions. But let's take this from a different approach. Let's say that Thick Technologies, she's coming to us saying, I want to bring him in as a partner. What do I do? Okay. But I'm concerned about X, Y, and Z. So there are a couple of approaches to this, right? If it's now I'm talking U.S. law here. I don't know about Singaporean law. I don't know about other countries. I can only talk about U.S. law. Number one, if it's whether it's a corporation or an LLC makes a big difference. Okay, if it better be one or the other. Don't do it as a general partnership. But if it's a corporation or an LLC, what you can do, corporation, if it's a C corp, is you can have two classes of shares. You can Class A and Class B shares. The Class A shares are your voting rights shares. They're the shares that allow you to vote. Class B shares don't have voting rights, right? So you could give this person Class B shares in the company, which gives them equitable ownership in the company, but no managerial control. No right
Correct.
to vote for board seats or anything like that. Okay. That's one option. If it's an LLC, you have a very similar setup with membership units. An LLC doesn't have stockholders, it has members, and each member has membership units. Those membership units can actually be broken down into two types. You can break it down into managerial control, which is your typical membership unit, and equitable membership units. So you can give this person zero managerial control, but you can give them 50% or 40% of the equitable
Hmm.
units. And what that means is if there's money involved in the company, they're entitled to 40 or 50% of it.
Right.
But it doesn't give them control to talk about or to manage or to vote and say, here's what we're going to do with the company. It only gives them equitable rights. So in both the Class B, if you're a C Corp, or the equitable shares, if you're an LLC, that allows you to bring somebody in as a partner, so to speak, but they don't get the say over your company. Right. So a lot of times when someone has an existing company and they want to bring on a partner, that's the pitch I give them. Go to the Class B or the equitable shares or equitable interest because that's your company. Do you really want to give up control of your company? When two people or three people come together and say they want to start a company, yeah, they all get the
Hmm.
same because you're starting it together,
Yep.
right? But when it's someone who is coming into a company that's already in existence, you don't want to give up that control. You built that. Why are you giving it to someone?
Yeah.
So you want to bring them in, you want to give them something, give them non-managerial interest. That's a way to do it.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I know you do.
Like,
I'm talking to the people out there who have
mhm.
no clue. So that's how you can go about doing that. So thick technology, I am sorry you had to go through that. It does suck. But as Gummy said, I hope you learned something from it.
Yep.
And you can certainly salvage that and rebuild your business.
Yep.
I know he stole some clients from you. Go get new clients. Start another company. Go get new clients.
Hmm.
3 years from now, you'll be looking back and it won't be an issue. I mean, you're 29 years old. You have the rest of your life. You have so much time to go
Yep.
and redo
Oh
this.
yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move on. This is from the Web Chefs, who says,
Oh.
what is the line in the sand for you between doing it yourself and outsourcing? This is a good question.
Hmm.
Hey guys, just writing today because I've been having a personal conundrum between whether I handle tasks myself or whether I outsource them and pay somebody else to do them, as a lot of these tasks I'm perfectly capable of doing and can provide myself decent results, but I get the highest ROI out of actually doing the service which my business provides. Some of these are like lead generation, appointment setting, content creation, social media management, etc. I can do them, but they're a huge time sink, and I'm not sure whether it's just worth outsourcing it or sticking with my guns and putting in the hours to do it myself. Let me know what you think. Go ahead, Gubby.
So
I
this is
see your head, your mind
this
churning.
is the thing that um, most entrepreneurs struggle with, right? Is if I have someone else do it, I'm making less money, right? It is what it boils down to for a lot of people is, but now I have to pay someone to do it and I can do it myself. Well, he answered his own question when he said, well, you know, you get the highest ROI when you're actually doing the service. So as long as none of these tasks are interfering with money making
Mm-hmm.
time, you can keep doing them, right? Like I did my bookkeeping probably for 2 years after I could have stopped just because it wasn't taking up business time,
Yeah.
right? Like I was doing it late at night or like, but the moment it started interfering with me doing money generating
Yeah.
activities, yes, no, now it was time to
That's a
either
problem. Yeah.
hire someone or outsource it, right? And a lot of times, especially nowadays, right? Like when I started, social media marketing wasn't really a thing, right? Like it was early days, Facebook, people weren't really doing a ton of social media marketing. So like I wasn't worrying about creating content the way we create content today, right? Instead, I did a lot of writing, which I
Mm-hmm.
loved doing anyway. Um, but yeah, this is where you have to draw the line in the sand and say, okay, if it starts impeding on money making activities, then it's time to hire someone else to
Yeah.
do it. Like that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
right?
There's a really good saying in business that um, a business owner, an employee sells their time, a business owner buys your time.
Correct.
Right. And as a business owner, what you should be looking to do is buy other people's time to do those tasks.
Yes.
So that you can use your time to build the business.
Correct.
Right. And I mean, we say this probably every week, but it's just, or some variation thereof.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, I get it. You could do these things, but if you could pay somebody $20 an hour to do the books, whereas you can take that hour and bill $200, go bill $200 and pay someone the 20.
Yeah.
It's $180 profit.
Yes.
All day, every day. That's what you do.
I think we're about to restart the live. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Is it off?
No.
Oh,
it's,
okay.
It's gonna.
We just have to kind of renew it every
Yep.
hour. Sorry. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So that's what you do.
Since we're new.
Since we're new to the whole live streaming. So anyway, that's what you do. You have to look at it and say to yourself, okay, what's it going to cost me to outsource this to somebody?
Right.
And forget about the fact that, okay, yeah, it might take a couple of weeks to get them up to speed. That goes away very quickly. You got to think 3, 4, 5 months down the road. Because, well, people think, yeah, but, I have to train them. That's a couple of weeks. Okay. Yeah. Once that's done, think about the productivity you'll start having yourself when other people are doing that job. And quite frankly, you're probably not the expert in that field anyway. Right?
Probably not.
Right? You may have been doing, I had a bookkeeper. I thought I was good at bookkeeping, right? I am now. But when I was younger, I thought I was pretty good at bookkeeping. And then I had a friend who was an actual bookkeeper, and she came in and she goes, what the heck is this?
Correct.
And I would explain to her, she goes, no, don't do that. And I learned proper bookkeeping, from at that point. So
did you?
There's all kinds of things that you can learn to do. What's up?
Yeah. Can you see if you can? Isn't there a multi-guest request?
Yeah.
Can you let my account in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That way. Oh.
Well, who died? Me or
Blue
you?
light.
Blue light died.
Blue light died.
Okay. I know blue light's okay. So anyway, sorry people, technical things going on here with the live streaming. So, but anyway, so that's how you do it. You want to go out and you want to find people that you can pay to do certain things. You are buying their time so that your time can be better spent on the company.
Yeah. See, now we have you can change the layout of the screen too. Well, we'll get to that.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking to Armand.
Oh,
right
okay.
Now it looks like this.
I didn't know what you were looking at.
He can change this screen so that our main one that we're both on is way bigger. And
cool.
The other box is
very nice.
Tiny.
All right.
You might have to do that from this. Oh, no, he's a mod. He needs the main tablet to do it.
Sure, whatever.
No.
We're talking about the way the live streaming is set up. We've only done this for a few weeks, so we're still trying to figure out exactly what the best way to do it is. But I mean, we got some viewers out there, which is great. So anyway, while Gummi plays with that, it's important to remember you only have so much time in a day, right? 8, 10, 12 hours, whatever it is. Your time is better spent building your business, talking to your clients, getting more sales leads in, finding new products that you're going to service or build or whatever it's going to be, rather than doing the bookkeeping, doing the appointments and calling clients back, things like that. So always go out and try to hire someone to do that because it'll in the long run, it saves you a ton of money. It really does. You actually instead of saving you money, it helps you make money.
Correct.
Which is a better way of looking at it. All right. So the web chefs, good luck to you on that. The line in the sand, again, there's really no line. It's just a matter of what keeps you the most productive. All right. This is Right-Dash-Worry 267 who says, first prototype is done. Now what? This is a very typical question. This happens a lot where people build something and then they don't know what to do with it afterwards.
Correct.
Hello, everyone. I'm a 21-year-old female entrepreneur trying to enter the air filter business. Ooh, that's a good business. I've already completed the first prototype, but I'm at a loss about how to proceed. I don't know anyone who's willing to invest in my idea. I'm currently in college and will be taking a corporate entrepreneurship class next semester. My goal is to found my own company, and I've already come up with a name for it, but I haven't registered it yet. I'm eager to know what steps I can take to expedite my journey. Okay, hold on before you do anything else.
Okay.
I love the name. I love the fact you came up with the name.
Yep.
I'm more happy that they didn't register it yet.
Yep.
Okay, here's why. I just had this conversation with a client yesterday.
Trademark
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you listening live right now, and for those of you who hear this in a few weeks or whenever it comes out, business names, you have to do a proper trademark search. So I have a new client that came to me yesterday, and they want me to trademark their name. Now, we haven't done any research on it or anything yet, but they registered the business several months ago. They put all this money into business cards, hats, things like that. And I said, did you have a lawyer or yourself? Did you go out and trade? Well, yeah, we did a trademark search. Oh, good. Tell me about that. Well, we put the name into USPTO and did hit search and nothing came up. And I was like, that's not good enough. No. It's not nearly good enough. Here's what happens. You come up with a name, right? Whatever. Kimabob. Kimabob's the name. Like whatever it is. Kimabob.
Okay.
It's just.
How about we use something that people like? So like
what?
You come up with a name called Mikey.
Mikey. Okay, sure. Mikey. And you want to get involved in sneakers.
Yes. Right?
Okay. Point being, you have to do a good trademark research, because here's the problem. If you come up with a name and you register it and you go through all the trouble of doing X, Y, and Z, business cards, branding, blah, 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 blah. And then you find out that, oh, wait, I can't use his name. It's already registered from someone else in the trademark office.
Or something similar.
Or something similar, right?
Right.
And that's the key.
Because it doesn't have to be exact.
It doesn't have to be exact, right? So the example I always give people is Tide laundry detergent, TIDE, right? That's a brand name. It's trademarked. I could not create a competing laundry detergent called TYDE. It's spelled differently, right? I'll have a different logo. It doesn't matter. It's too what we call confusingly similar. And if it's confusingly similar, that means that someone might mistake that product for the actual Tide product. So that's a no-go. So I see people all the time start a business without doing a trademark search, and every once in a while, that name actually is trademarked by, or something similar is trademarked by somebody else.
There's a place not too far from here that opened up, barbecue place. And I remember meeting him before he was starting, and I'm like, you may want to check on that name before you do anything. Yeah. Right? Never did it. They launched, spent tens of thousands of dollars on their signs and started advertising and all that stuff. And then I think they had been in business 7 or 8 months, and they got a cease and desist letter. Right. And there was no way to fight it because it was a registered trademark. So they had to go in and redo all of their signs and order new uniforms. A shame, isn't it?
This happened. So this happened to my uncle about 12, 15 years ago before he became an attorney. But I knew a lot about trademark law, and I was begging him. So they had a conference over the summer. What do we call our company? We want to rebrand and give it a new name. And the chief marketing officer there, nice guy, really nice guy. They came up with a name that was very, very, very unique. And that's the trap people fall into.
Right.
Our name is new. There's no way anyone has this name. I searched on Google. No one has this name.
There was no meta.
There's no meta, right?
Right.
So,
oops.
They came up with a unique name. They didn't want to announce it yet, because they wanted to do like one big announcement. So let's say they came up with it in like June of that year. Okay. June, July, August, they're going out, they're building websites, they're building branding, they're getting hats, tees, they're going to do a big reveal. I kept telling my uncle, and I kept telling the CMO, you need to register this. Well, we're not using it. It doesn't matter. You can still register it without using it. It's called a 1B registration. It doesn't matter. So, but okay, we'll get to it. Sure enough, in December, they finally decide to call a trademark attorney. And the trademark attorney does one search. 3 weeks prior, another company registered the name. with one letter difference, an A instead of an E,
Yep.
but it didn't matter. It was too confusingly similar at that
Yep.
point. All that money, and we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, poof,
Yeah.
gone.
So we actually, for my name, Red Knight, I had gotten attorneys that were supposed to register it 3 months. They waited 3 months. In the meantime, someone registered it. So I now have a co-registration with
Yeah.
another company that just does IT services, but same name.
Yeah.
We actually came up with an agreement, right?
Yep.
But
Because
yeah,
you're in the same class, even though you do different things.
correct. So we had one class that overlapped.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Right. So we have a co-agreement.
Right, for that class.
Correct.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
it's
anyway, point being, for Right Worry 267, I'm really happy that you haven't registered it yet.
Mhm.
Please do a trademark search before you register.
have someone that knows how to do a trademark search.
Please have a trademark search done before
Yes.
you register it. All right, so let's get to the actual meat of this thing here. So you have an air filter business. Really cool idea. I like that because as an allergy sufferer, I'm telling you right now, it's getting worse and worse every year.
Every year.
The allergies are getting out of control
Yes.
right now. I can't go a day without going through almost an entire box of tissues and, with nose and my tears in my eyes and stuff like that. It's getting brutal.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
I know.
With the guy that wanted to do the air quality app.
Yes,
right?
the air quality app,
yes.
exactly. So air filters, it sounds like you say nothing about what they do, but I'm going to guess there's some type of special filtration, some type of special material you're using. Really cool. Focus on the allergy people, please.
Do you know what? Do you know K&M filters that do the automotive air filtration?
Yes.
I have often wondered, why doesn't someone come up with a reusable HVAC filter?
Okay.
So I can have two of them. I can put one in and I can clean the other one, right? Because I would assume that you could make a much better quality filter that's reusable than
But they don't sell as many.
Well, true. K&M doesn't, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
they've still made a business out of it.
Yeah.
But I would love to have a filter. Like, it drives me nuts. All the amount of, because I have to change it every month.
Yeah.
Right? The amount of trash that I'm generating. And it's not like this is recyclable. Like, I'd love to see someone come up with a reusable HVAC filter that I could just rinse out, clean, let it dry.
Yeah.
But I would need probably two to keep them in rotation,
Right.
right? Like, I would love something like that. I really
No,
would.
sure.
Like,
Of course. Well, again, so what she's asking is, what do I do? I have this prototype.
Mhm.
It works. It's great. What do I do with it?
set up pre-orders.
Explain.
So I say this probably on every episode, I think, right? Like, if you have a prototype, if you want to know if it's an actual sellable product, set up a pre-order where people can pre-order it and they get something with it, or they get it cheaper, whatever it is. Separate people from their money. That is how you know you have a viable product, right? And you don't have to make it before you sell it. You can sell it first, make it, and then deliver it, right? I always use the example of, like, when you go and let's say you want to start selling your product at Walmart, right? So you take your prototype or a product in the packaging and all that stuff, and you go and pitch it, and Walmart goes, perfect. We'll take a test order, right? And that's going to be 4 containers worth because it's 55,000 stores.
Yeah.
But they're only going to put it in
Couple.
500 stores, right? That's still an entire, like,
It's 1%.
that's 5, but that's 5 containers, right? Once you have that PO from Walmart, you will have time to deliver that product. You can take that PO
to a bank
and go, hey, I have a PO from Walmart. I need money to float the production. And the bank will go, sure. Right? Because you already have, if Walmart says they're going to buy it, and if you have a contract that says that they buy it and you don't have to buy it back if it doesn't sell, which you're unlikely to get that. But, and it doesn't matter. I'm just using Walmart as an example, right? Now, all of a sudden, you don't need any seed funding. Your seed funding comes from the bank after you basically get a purchase order for the product itself, right? And because like something like this is not going to be profitable at a low volume, would be
No,
my
high
guess, right?
volume.
Like you can't make 100 of them. You probably have to make 10,000 of them in order to be profitable.
Right.
Well, if you can pre-sell 3,000 of them out of the 10,000, now you need very little seed money,
Right.
right? Like now it's manageable. Now you can put the rest on a credit card. Like, but if you have the pre-order sitting in escrow, then your seed money is there.
Yeah.
So go sell it and just put the delivery date 6 months out,
Yeah.
right? Or
Now the question is, where do you make it at? Right. Again, this is a topic we've talked about many
mhm,
times. So air filters. Something tells me she built the prototype at home, but she's not building the line at home. It's not going to be built at home.
no,
I can't imagine that's happening. So you got to find a place where you can have these things manufactured.
mhm,
What's is that in the U.S.? Is it out of the U.S.? Are there tariffs involved, et cetera, et cetera? What's it going to cost you to have these things manufactured somewhere,
mhm,
right? So that me personally would be the step 1A and B. Step 1A and B are A, go sell it, put it online, put it wherever it's going to go talk to stores where it could be sold at, show them the prototype, let
yep,
them know they'll have them in 3 6 months because you've already spoken with the manufacturer who's going to build it, which is part B. And they're going to tell you how long it's going to take to manufacture this thing.
correct.
So then you can go to the store and say, okay, it's going to take 3 4 5 months.
Mhm,
I can have 10,000 of them in 5 months. How many do you want?
yep,
Let them say to you, we want 10, we want 100 because we're going to test run it. Or a Walmart or something like that who says, we want all 10,000. Maybe they like it that much.
right.
Right. You go to any auto store, Pep Boys, AutoZone, something like
Yeah,
that. See, they say car filter. I'm sorry, just air filters. My bad. So it's
yeah,
probably for HVAC.
yep.
So never mind. Take that back. But you can go to Home Depot, you can go to
Mhm.
Lowe's, places like that
Ace
try to sell them as
Hardware,
Ace
like,
Hardware. Try to sell any one of those companies.
yep.
Look for the local mom and pop shops that are selling hardware if you have to.
Mhm.
But just get out there and start selling your prototype now.
I think Amazon even allows you to take pre-orders now.
Does it really?
I'm pretty sure I could pre-order stuff on Amazon.
I know that there's things that are back ordered that you can say, hey, I
Mhm.
want it when it comes
But I
out.
think they have pre-orders as well.
That'd be kind of cool. If they don't, they should.
Yeah,
Right. So that
correct.
might be an option as well. So you got to look at those various things. You got to say to yourself, all right, I'm going to go through all these channels. And then while I'm trying to sell it,
Mhm.
I am also figuring out where it's going to get made at.
Yep.
And if you do it right and get the right contract, like Gummy said, you can take that order from company X, go to the bank. So you have the orders here. Company X gives you an order slip. You
Mhm.
can take that to the bank to get money to pay the manufacturer.
Yep.
And now nothing's really come out of your pocket. The only thing you've expended was a lot of time and
Correct.
effort. But now the company that gave you the purchase order is paying for the things to be
Mhm.
designed, to be manufactured. That's
That's
a great way to do
that's
it.
exactly how you should do it.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money, that's really the only way to do it.
Yeah, well, people
It's
don't know that. People don't know. They think,
true.
I got to come up with 100 grand to produce these
Yeah.
things.
No,
Not necessarily.
no, you don't.
Not necessarily at all.
No.
So
The
that's a
last
great
thing,
way to do
the
it.
last thing you want to do is be stuck with $100,000 worth of inventory in an
Yeah,
item that doesn't sell.
that
Be-
happened to a client of mine
oh,
years
it
ago.
happens a lot.
He had a really cool idea. I'm not gonna say what it was, but he had a really cool idea for a simple product.
Hmm.
And for a couple of years, he had fine tuned the product, made it nicer, built it in his house, and it was great. And he got an order. He convinced someone at 7-Eleven because it's one of those things you'll buy right off the shelf, right?
Right.
At the counter. And 7-Eleven was like, hey, we'll take, I forget how many, 30,000 of them. They were small items.
Hmm.
We'll take 30,000 arbitrarily. So but we need them within a certain period of time, say 6 months. So he had a manufacturer lined up in China. They screwed up the production. He paid them already, but
Hmm.
they screwed up the production. He spent like 50, 60 grand on getting these things produced,
Yeah.
and they screwed up the production where they wouldn't work as intended. So obviously couldn't give him the 7-Eleven. And the manufacturer was like, you gave us the wrong specs. And he may have given them the wrong specs. They never actually
Oh,
figured that out, who was wrong. He never got his money back. So he lost a lot of time and money in doing this.
Hmm.
So to this day, and this was 20 years ago, I never heard what happened. I know I've never seen the product in the store.
This is why prototyping with the
Yeah.
manufacturer,
Very, 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 very
it
important.
may cost you a ton, but it's a better option than ending up in
Yeah.
that situation.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're gonna, if you, so right, worry if you're gonna go, if
And
you're gonna
there
work with an overseas company, which there's nothing wrong with that,
there
you
are
might want to go there too while
correct,
they're
but
doing the prototypes.
there are actually manufacturing reps as well, where you can hire someone that basically lives there.
Yeah.
That is kind of like your quality
True.
assurance.
True. Yep.
So you don't even have to go. You just have to be connected with someone that
Just make sure they have your best interest at heart.
correct, right? But that's another great way to oversee manufacturing is hiring a manufacturer's rep that basically keeps an eye on quality control for you
Exactly.
at the factory.
That
Now,
wherever it's
yes.
being made at,
Yep.
exactly. Because you do not want a run of these things made and then you
Yep.
get them and there's something wrong.
Correct.
The dimensions are off or something like that. Man, you just lost all that money. You're not getting it back.
Nope. So
Because usually, and if these companies do it right, every point along the way, you've signed something that says, yes, this is what I want. Yes, this is what I
Yes.
want. Yes, I checked it, tested it. This is what it's supposed
Yep.
to be.
yeah, but
So good luck to you, right? Worry 267. Hopefully, the air filter business is very profitable for you. I think that's a great business. Because
yeah,
you only see a handful of manufacturers out there, and you have two options: the one that's like $50 a filter and will actually keep the stuff out,
right.
or the one that's $3 a filter and you might as well not even have one.
Mhm.
There's really nothing in between.
It's an
So-
interesting business.
All right, we'll do one more for today.
One more.
One more.
One more.
Okay, this is from Sid 111. I think that's 4 Sids. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Sid 111. Should I quit my corporate job? Yes. All right. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
everybody. Good
We'll
day.
be back next week.
Looking for some perspective. I recently opened a boutique Pilates studio. Ooh, and we made $60,000 in our first month. Paid out just over $10,000 to instructors, which I'm happy to do. They're the key to the business. That said, 2 of them haven't clicked with clients. Their styles don't align with our brand. Member turnover is high, and they've sold the fewest memberships.
Mhm.
I could easily teach those classes myself and cut those salaries. Meanwhile, I work full-time at a startup marketing agency, which eats up a ton of energy. Startup life equals nonstop pressure. My background is in marketing, but I barely have time to promote my own business, which is frustrating. Financially, we're okay. Husband has a stable job, rent is low, overhead is manageable. We've already put $20K down on a $50,000 business loan. I'm torn on whether to go all in on the studio or stay with the agency a bit longer for quote unquote stability. What is your advice? I'm going to look at these numbers one more time. You're saying you made $60K in a month with 10,000 to instructors. Let's call it another 5,000 in overhead. So 15 out of 60, you're pulling in 45,000 a month, and you're asking if you need to leave your corporate job.
You and I both know the answer to this, right? Like it's.
What am I missing?
This is that mental hurdle of safety.
Yeah,
Right.
That's exactly what it is.
It's 100% what
Yeah,
it is.
you're right.
It's like,
It is.
But we need the stability. Well, guess what? When you're starting out, when you're building the business, and this person is in marketing, you should know if instructors aren't clicking, you're damaging your brand long term.
Bye. See ya.
Correct. Right? Like
there's 20 more waiting outside.
Because those people are going to go out and say, well, yeah, no, I like the studio, but the instructors there are bad.
Yeah.
Now you're going to become the studio that's great with bad instructors.
No, that doesn't work.
Good luck with that one, right?
And here's the other thing. You are, let's just say you make a great, let's say you make 150 grand a year at this marketing agency, right?
Yep.
I don't know how much you make, but let's just say it's 150 grand a year. The opportunity cost you're missing with this business, if you're telling me that you're pulling in 45K, we're making that number up, but 10,000 new instructors, 5,000 in over, 10,000 in overhead. You're making 40K a month in one location. You should have quit your job 6 months ago and have 5 locations by now.
Pretty much.
No, I'm dead serious. I don't understand. I don't understand the
But
question.
it's once again, it's the mental hurdle, right? But then we lose the stability. We lose our paycheck. Like
Well,
how
that's the risk of becoming an entrepreneur.
correct.
That's why it's risk
I
reward.
I
There's
totally
no stability. Okay, so
I
just for
totally
people
get
that
it.
don't understand, there is no such thing as stability. I don't care if you've been around
Hmm.
for a year or 50
No.
years. There is no such thing as stability in a company. Lehman
So
Brothers went out of
I
business
was
overnight after 120
yeah.
years, right?
Someone once said every business is 30 days away from shutting
Yeah.
down,
So there is no such thing as
right?
stability, but that's also the rewards that
Hmm.
you get. You don't just make again. I'm just making those number up. 150,000 a year. You can make 10,000 a year, or 500,000 a year, or $1 million a year.
Hmm.
That's the risk reward you take with owning a business.
Yes.
You give up the stability, which quite frankly isn't as stable as you think,
Nope.
because if that marketing company's numbers are off for a quarter, you might lose your job anyway,
Correct.
right? But you're basically giving up that paycheck stability for and you're giving up the opportunity cost
And the
in your business.
big thing for me here is that it's a startup marketing agency that's eating up a ton of energy. Well, you could be putting that energy
Into
into
your
your
business.
business.
Like I said, you should have 5 locations by now.
Hmm.
If you're making that kind of money, are you kidding me?
Did you ever see the um I I do this with my employees every once in a while. I'll give them 2 containers.
Are we pitching
No,
Arizona now?
we're
Okay.
not pitching the Arnold Palmer half and half lemonade and
You're
iced
not
tea.
pitching that
I'm
to our
not pitching that.
non-sponsor?
No, to
Okay.
a non-sponsor. I'm not pitching, even though this is delicious. Um, so what I'll do is I will put some type of containers in their hands and put 2 cups on the table and tell them to fill them up simultaneously,
Yeah.
right? And the key is putting the cups just far enough apart that you can't really
At the
focus on
same time,
you.
yeah.
You have to look, right? And then I go, okay, now fill up both cups simultaneously. One will either overflow or one will not get filled up. That is shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
That is trying to spread your energy too thin at the same, and then wondering why one of them didn't work,
Yeah.
right? One of them didn't fill up correctly. One of them, I've seen people keep pouring and actually miss one of the cups. And I'm like, that's what spreading your focus really is.
Yeah.
Right. Like, if you're smart, take this thing and just focus on that. Once that's full, you can move to the next one and
Yeah,
fill that up.
exactly.
Right.
There is nothing wrong with starting, like and this goes back to some of the questions from earlier today.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with starting a business that does X.
No.
Getting it and doing it for a couple of years.
Correct.
And really refining and fine tuning X, the service.
But
And then
it's
adding in Y, especially if Y is complementary to X.
but it is committing. You have to
You have
commit
to
to
commit
the
to
first
X.
thing.
You got to commit
Right.
to X. Yes, absolutely.
And the more time you spend on other things, whether
Yep.
that's a day job, whether that's a hobby, like I don't care what it is, the more time you spend on that, the less time.
Mr. Burns said it best
Yeah.
in The Simpsons. Family, friends, religion. These are the 3 demons that will kill your business.
Yeah, well, yes.
I'm joking,
No,
of course.
But yeah, it's the commitment. It's what it boils down to is you have to give up the stability in order to start seeing sustainable growth.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are only so many hours in the day. There is only so much energy that you have. Right? So put it where
it does best for you.
correct.
Yeah.
Right? I still get the whole, like, my wife would not be able to just up and let go of her 9 to 5. It doesn't matter.
But does she love it?
She does love it.
That's why.
Correct. I mean,
That's
she
why.
doesn't say she hates her day job here either.
Actually, she says it's getting frustrating. Right? My background's in marketing, but I barely have time to promote my own business, which is frustrating.
So it's frustrating that she doesn't have time for both.
Yeah.
Right? So I get it. So if it's starting to be frustrating and your teachers are bad and they're creating a bad rap,
Yeah.
any advice? Yeah, let go. Let go.
Because if you're not paying full-time attention to this business,
Mhm.
it's going to get worse.
I heard something. I don't know where I heard it. I was listening to something yesterday. And it said, everything you want is on the other side of fear,
Yeah, right.
right? And I thought about it and I was like, huh, that's really it, right? Like
It's
it's
true.
the fear holding you
It's
back
true.
from
Yeah.
getting what you want. So
What if I can't pay my bills? What if I can't do this?
everything you want is on the other side of fear,
Yeah.
right? So you always have to cross that fear barrier.
I mean, she's already said multiple things in here where she shouldn't have fear. Number
Correct.
one, company's doing quite well. Number two, her husband has a stable job. Their rent is low.
Yeah,
Overhead is manageable.
but fear is,
What are you afraid of?
we're assuming that fear is always rational,
Very true.
right? Like
Very true. Okay. Touche. I'll
fear,
give you that one.
fear is not always rational.
No,
right?
fear, in
Like
fact, it often is not.
most of the time it's, what did they say it was? Fear is,
Fear is the mind.
false,
Is the little death that.
false,
Sorry, that's from Dune.
false emotion, false emotion appearing real, false evidence appearing real,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is what.
Because you don't even know if it's a problem.
Correct.
You think it's a problem and
Correct.
it torments you.
And that's you live in this fear that is totally irrational, because you can take anything and be fearful of it if you paint it in the right or wrong picture.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but I mean, this one is a no-brainer, right? Like, because she puts in numbers, we can say this is a no-brainer. But there are people that where the numbers might not be as obvious as this. So it's really to those people. Like, if it's fear holding you back, re-examine the evidence you have for that fear, because it may not be what you think it is.
Yeah.
You may be better off than you think. You may see success faster, right? Like if you have more time to dedicate to something, inevitably it's going to do better.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can't.
Listen, Sid 111. Listen to me. Okay, listen to me.
Just,
You have what appears to be a budding business that looks like it can do quite well. You should have no doubt in your mind that it's time to leave that studio.
Correct.
And go make this thing happen. You should have 2 or 3 locations in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
At that rate, no question about it.
So here's the other thing with that. I just want to touch on something else.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as expanding operations too fast.
Well, sure.
In this case,
this is not one of them.
No, it is.
You think?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
So
I'll argue with you on this.
If you can't train your teachers to be up to your standards and your brand, you're not ready to expand. You have to be able to train them at your first location.
Sure.
And make sure that everything is in place, that everybody is following the same guidelines, that everybody has the same attitude, so on and so forth.
SOPs.
Yes.
Standard operating procedures.
And
yes.
Not only that, also personalities and like all those things. Once you've mastered that at your first location, then you can start looking at a second one, because obviously your biggest problem here is you're not good at hiring.
I wouldn't say that. It's only 2 people. What?
Only?
Well, it's 2. We don't know how many there are, right?
Right.
So let's assume there's a handful. Two of a handful.
Okay, let's say it's 2 of 10. Okay, so 20% of what you hire could end up hurting your business.
Well, if you don't fire them quick enough.
Correct. Yeah. Well, that's the other conversation we have a lot. Right?
Yeah.
Like be quick to hire and quick to fire.
Quick to fire.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we see this all the time and if she's in marketing, she should know this as well, right? Is you got to build the brand, the internal brand first. Once that internal brand is flushed out and everybody's on board with it, then expand to location 2, 3, 4. But once you flush all that stuff out, opening number 2 and number 3 and number 4 is easy.
Okay.
If you do it preemptively.
No, and I agree with you. If she leaves her job now, 2 weeks, whatever it is, right? She leaves her company and she can focus full time on this business.
Yep.
She can have those SOPs done in a month or 2.
But it's more than SOPs.
But I'm saying she can build out that she can build out the way that these people are supposed to do their job, what they're supposed to do with customers.
Correct.
Build out everything that's supposed to happen with this company inside of 3 or 4 months. Should be very easy to do if you're doing it full time.
I mean, the culture is what takes the longest to solidify.
Yeah.
And until you have that, I would not recommend expanding to
Okay,
a second or
fair
third
enough.
location.
Within 6 months, you should be able to expand to
Correct.
one,
Yeah,
at
you
least
just
another one.
you just have to have those things in place,
Yeah,
right?
no, that's fair.
And
That's a fair
I
point.
see it all the time. Well, I see it not all the time. I see it more often than I would like to see, where people end up having multiple locations, and then a location starts shuttering or doing things
Yeah, right.
differently, or and they go back to it and they're like,
Because the quality doesn't stay. Yeah,
correct.
right.
And that's
I'm
all
I'm
about.
always a fan of, if you have 10 employees at location number 1,
Mhm.
and there's 1 or 2 of them that really stand out, train them to be managers at location number 2.
Yeah.
Because they'll keep that culture
Oh,
and that quality
if you
going.
can do
Yeah.
that, yes, absolutely.
That's a way to approach it. So Sid 111, get out. Leave your job. Leave tomorrow. Seriously, you sounds like you have a really, really good opportunity here. And maybe Gummi's right. I think it might be the fear of the unknown.
Oh yeah,
You know, you're afraid of losing that stability.
always fear.
No, you'll do so much better on your own, I think. So good luck to you. And yeah, let us know what happens.
Mhm.
All right, so I think that's it for today. It's a good show.
Yeah.
Hello, podcast world. Thanks for joining us live. If you do have questions, if you are looking to start your own company, if you have your own company and you just have questions, you'd like some advice from us, as you can see, we'd love to give it. So, you know, feel free to put something in the comments. We could talk about it on the next show. Watch our podcast. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook. Where else are we at? TikTok,
Everywhere.
obviously.
So,
We're pretty much everywhere.
we're-
Everywhere podcasts can be.
Pretty much.
And we will be back next Wednesday, right? Well, we don't know. All right.
I'm gonna say it's either
Maybe
gonna
Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be later in the afternoon.
Okay. So
But
we'll figure out
it
when
out.
we're back next week. And we'll talk to you then.
Sounds like a
All
plan.
right, man.